Yeah, we're going to do a levitation now. We're actually going to do a little prayer demonstration because today is all about the transforming power of affirmative prayer. And so we have our prayer partner team leader, Kathy Smith-Brown. And she's going to be joined by the lovely Liliana, who's also one of our prayer partners and my constant prayer partner. They're going to do a demonstration of affirmative prayer. Kathy's going to say a few words about it first.
Is that working, Mike? It's on. I'll repeat myself. I invite you to join those of us who have discovered the power of affirmative prayer to transform our lives. To be sure, this is not a speedy change, but a steady, lifelong process, and so rewarding. Affirmative prayer does not directly change the situation. It changes me and my relationship to the situation in the most powerful ways. Often, then, the situation changes. When I see the divine in all circumstances, it frees me from the burden of controlling or saving others. I can see them on their own path, bless them, and walk with them. It helps me to accept the present fully and create peace in my day. I hope you decide to come to our affirmative prayer class the first 2 Saturdays in December. Give yourself an early Christmas gift and start to transform your life. You can sign up on the sheet in the back table or send us an email if you are online now. We're going to demonstrate how you pray with someone because it's easier to see the process. But this process, many times we do for ourselves. So just think about that. But in the prayer class, we'll do both. But today we're going to demonstrate Liliana praying with me. And you will see that we need prayer constantly to transform our old thinking. Thank you.
Hi, Kathy. Thank you for joining me this morning. And how can I pray with you?
Well, I have a family member that I'd like to pray for, as well as myself in the prayer. My family member was formerly very independent, very in charge. She raised 4 children by herself. Her name is Susan. And 2 years ago she fell and injured her left side, and she's been recovering, somewhat since then. But this summer she fell again and broke her wrist. So what I'm seeing in the last couple of months is that she has lost what it seems like her power to comfort herself, and she's relying on her present husband and me and her children to boost her up. And my worry is that she has lost touch with any sense of her own power to heal, to comfort, to give herself peace. She's very anxious. If she doesn't sleep at night, she worries it's going to be a bad day, and that revolves in her, and she often has a bad day. So my prayer for me, so my prayer for her is I'd like her to develop or remind herself of her strength, of her power. And for me, I love her dearly. I want to fix her. I want to pour it in and have it stick. And so I need to be reminded of my path with her.
Okay. So what I hear you say is that you are praying for your sister to find that place of comfort, spiritual comfort and peace, and also for yourself.
Yeah. It's because I'm worrying about her.
Yeah. Would you like to hold hands? We affirm that the Spirit of God, the divine, is in the midst of every situation, even the darkest situation, even when we can't see a light. There is a light inside of everyone, a light that is connected to everything. And we see your sister, you see Susan connecting with this beautiful light that is going to guide her, that is present right there. We see her finding comfort in the midst of the uncomfort. We see her listening deeply to that voice of guidance. We see her finding herself at ease and accepting all her condition. And in that way, she can find a place of comfort where she can take a step, knowing that that step will be absolutely guided. We see her happy and joyful. We see her at peace, accepting the love of everyone around her. We surround her with a light of healing, knowing that the healing can take many forms. It can be forgiveness, can be acceptance, can be healing of the physical body as well. And we also see Kathy finding that light within herself of wisdom, where she knows where to step in and where to step back. Surround her with love. We see the Christ in both of them. Amen.
Amen.
Let's sit in the silence for a few moments. Amen.
Thank you, Lily.
Welcome.
All right, so as you can tell, prayer is deeply personal. And I want to thank Kathy and Lily for being willing to get up and share that moment. It's a deeply personal moment where you enter into another being's experience, another person's, when you're praying for someone else. You're entering into another person's experience. And our job there is to bring the divine into that experience. In our prayer partner training, right on the cover of our manual that we created, it says, align your focus with the solution, not with the problem. It's not that you deny the problem, but you do negate the power that you have given to the problem that you perceive in your life. You are bringing power to the situation. You are bringing spirit. You're bringing love. As you saw how wonderfully Lily did that with Kathy, she went to spirit. Now, this is the beautiful thing about prayer, guys. It transforms you. You have to go to spirit, to God, in order to bring it to someone else. You have to go there yourself. In the morning when you're in prayer or meditation, what do you first have to do? Lay down everything else. You have to allow your mind to slow down, to clear itself of all its concerns, all of its view of what's going on, all of your reactions and responses to the world, and sit in the truth of spirit, to sit in the power of spirit. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I brought a whole lot of information and and material, and I just hope to be able to bring a little tiny bit of what affirmative prayer is to us, to you today. I'm only going to scratch the surface. I'm not going to be able to get really deeply into it. But if you want to get more deeply into what affirmative prayer is, please join us, as Kathy said, Saturdays, December 2nd and December 9th. 1 to 4 each day. So it's a really nice little 3 hours, little prayer workshop, affirmative prayer. And if you do desire to be a prayer partner, that's the time to get your training. After that, you will be ready to be a prayer partner. And that team is always looking for new members. So the power, the transformative power of affirmative prayer. Affirmative prayer is the foundation of unity, practice, and belief. It's the foundation of our movement. It's really what characterizes and separates New Thought from all the other traditional ways of praying, of being. It's what defines us, is that we affirm that the divine lives in us. We affirm the Christ or the God in us, our God self. We don't pray to God, we pray from a consciousness of God, of a child of God. If we are children of the divine, then that's what we are. Everything else is a story we're telling ourselves that keeps us in a reflection of limitation, of separation. If you're telling yourself a story of separation, what do you think the world's going to reflect back to you? If you're telling yourself a story of limitation, what do you think you will experience? Exactly. So let's explore today this amazing practice and power of affirmative prayer. Unity characterizes affirmative prayer as creative thinking. Your mind is creative. It has to create. It has to ask Spirit, what do I say now? It just you have no idea of really what to say. Spirit is speaking through you. And in that moment, you realize, oh my goodness, there is something within me, within my consciousness, that can speak truth, not only speak truth, but emanate truth. Prayer is the most highly accelerated mind action known. It steps up the mental function until your mind synchronizes with the Christ mind, the one mind. You've brought your seeming separated, limited way of thinking, limited human mind, we might call it, which has never been separate or limited ever. But we've done that by how we think about ourselves. So you've brought your human mind to the divine, to the one mind. Synchronize your mind with the Christ mind. That's what prayer does. That's what your personal prayer practice should be doing. Synchronizing your mind with the one. Isn't that nice? See, most of us, we've given up on prayer because we know that we've been pleading and begging and claiming what? Our lack. I need something, right? What if you have the whole universe already? It's already yours and it's already what you are. You don't beg and plead for something that you need. You go out and manifest it. You claim it and manifest it for yourself. And you're using the power of your mind to do so. And you know it's a perfect and loving expression of God within you because you're coming from the right place. It's not a desire really for something out there. You're affirming what's already in here. And then you're allowing it to manifest in the right and perfect way for your highest good and for the highest good of those around you. So affirmative prayer, it's what makes New Thought Christianity unique from all the other spiritual paths. Because rather than praying to a God outside of us, we're praying from a consciousness of God within. We pray as a way of entering the field of infinite possibilities. That's what we have to do. Enter the field. Enter that field. That's what we do. And that's why we spend so much time in the silence, because we are entering the field of infinite possibility. And then we're calling forth the specific possibilities which will contribute to our highest good. Now, I don't always know what those are. I very rarely have a clue of what's the best possibility to manifest for my highest good. That's why I need to synchronize my mind with the Christ mind, with the one mind. That which we call God. When I synchronize my mind with the power of the one mind, then I'm more likely, and I would say you're guaranteed, to bring about possibilities realized for your highest good. So prayer in this light is really considered realizations of the truth. You're realizing the truth. Yes, you want to pray for other people. Yes, you do. I know your heart aches for some folks. But the greatest way that we can help others is to realize our own unlimited potential and help them to realize it as well. I'll get into this more in a minute, because we're not pleading and begging for certain conditions and situations and favors from a benevolent being. We are affirming what's already true in the absolute or spiritual realm, and then we're allowing the highest and best outcome to be manifest in the relative or spiritual or physical realm. First, we have to acknowledge and affirm that which is true in the absolute. Then it will integrate into the relative and physical realm. It'll integrate naturally. We're in the flow of spirit. It's going to integrate without me ever having to fuss and fight and strive and work and all those things we thought we needed to do. No, it's surrender. It's relaxing. It's flowing. It's giving. It's dancing with the divine. Well, that sounds like a great name for a message. That'll be next week. Dancing with the divine. We're going to get rid of the chairs. We're going to be dancing with the divine. That's my kind of prayer. Right? I'm affirming life. So in prayer, where we begin is our humanity. Prayer is where we bring our divinity and humanity together. Now, I always say, in our common humanity, we will find our common divinity. So yes, we are all the same. We all have the same experiences. We all have the same concerns. We all have the same emotions that come up, all for different reasons, but we all have the same basic experience of this thing called life. And so that makes us all the same kind of human being, right? We're all one as humans. So that means we're all one in spirit. We're all one in truth. There's not one thing that I can pray for myself that I'm not giving to you. And there's not one thing I can deny to myself that I'm not denying to you. Everything you do to yourself. Everything. Every single thing. When you're hurting someone, you're hurting yourself. But when you're prospering and healing yourself, you're healing everyone. When I am healed, I'm not healed alone. So that's wonderful news, because I want you to be healed. I want you to be successful and prosperous. I want you to be healthy and happy. I want you to have relationships that work 100% of the time. You deserve it. It's your reality. You're a magnificent being. And you're here to bring about your highest good and the highest good of everyone. And to me, I've only been able to do that by living a life in prayer, by affirming the truth about myself and living in that truth. So there's a new book out. It's called Discover Your Divinity. It's by two amazing women, Linda Martella Whitsett and Deanne Weir-Morency. And it's a modern guide to affirmative prayer. And without getting too deeply into it, I want to share one thing from them Affirmative prayer is anchored in our divine humanity. It asks us to move past petitioning and begging and pleading or trying to get God to do something for us. It's about our own awakening. Our awakening to what we are capable of being and doing in the world when we remember our spiritual identity. So that's step number 1, is just remembering your spiritual identity. Just stay right there. Don't try to change anything. The universe, I said this since I was 15 years old. I don't know why I was talking like this for such a long time. But I used to say, and I still do, the universe is unfolding as planned. Just let it unfold. Flow with it. Because everything in the universe is designed to bring about your good, the evolution of your soul, your fulfillment, to bring you all the love that you desire and to allow you opportunities to love. Because I know each and every one of us desire to give our love. And so we need to be about that. One of our favorite books that we use around here also is The 5 Principles. This is the one we use for our membership class. And in it, Ellen Davenport says, this new concept of prayer may require a complete overhaul, not only of our understanding of God, but also in our beliefs about ourselves and who we truly are. An overhaul of your embedded theology, your beliefs about this God that's separate from you, this being that knows it all and has it all, and you need somehow to find a way to get it from him or her. When it's not like that at all, your new concepts of God have to include the energy of spirituality, the energy of spirit, the energy of love that permeates all things as an intelligent force. Do you see that the energy is in itself is intelligent? It knows where to go, how to manifest, what to do to bring about your highest good. The only thing that needs to learn is us, is me. I need to learn through affirmative prayer how to manifest from the infinite field of possibilities what is the most advantageous possibility for my highest good and the highest good of all in this moment. And in order to do that, I have to surrender. And we don't like that. We don't like to surrender our ideas about who we are and about what God is. And yet, in prayer, that's exactly what we have to do. No matter what our ideas have been up until that moment, we have to stop. Go to another place where all of the answers come, where all of the ways of expressing spirit exist. And they come to you. And sometimes it's not in words. It's just in silence or in deed. You know what to do to help someone. It's not always in words. It might just be a deep, abiding, comforting presence that you bring. You know you need to be there, and you need to be the presence of God in that moment. And maybe those folks won't understand what you're hearing today, but that doesn't matter. Because the path isn't really about words. It's about the presence. It's about your being the Christ that's within you. That's why I believe unity is so particularly important in the world today. Unity offers an environment of discovery. The discovery of your own ongoing, expanding experience of the divine in you. You're discovering this. You're waking up. And that's exactly what it said, is it requires an awakening. And it's really about your awakening, isn't it? So, unity and New Thought in general offers a form of prayer which is uniquely transformational to the individual. I'm not trying to teach you how to pray. I want to give you an environment of discovery. Affirm the truth of the absolute and learn your best way to bring the absolute to the relative experience that you're having. Spiritual being having a human experience. Bring the absolute to the relative. This is what Jesus did. This is what unity teaches us to do. This is what Charles and Fillmore based their whole life's work on, was discovering how this wonderful experience of Christ within can be manifest in the world. Bringing the absolute to the relative is our job as people who pray. Affirming the truth. I affirm the truth for you. And pretty soon, what happens when I'm affirming the truth for myself or for anyone else is I see that it's true. It's not that it wasn't there before. It's just I wasn't seeing it. That's why we think, oh, God gave me something that I didn't have. It's not like that. You always had it. You just couldn't see it. You weren't seeing with the eyes of Christ. You were seeing through the eyes of limitation, of perception, of what we call the ego. Prayer doesn't change things. Everybody says prayer changes things. Prayer doesn't change things. Get this deeply in your heart. Prayer changes us. We change things. Prayer changes you. It changes the way that you relate to people. It changes the way you see yourself. It changes your relationship to the universe and to God. Prayer changes us. It's transformative. And that's what we're focusing on today. What it does, prayer helps us change our minds about ourselves, and thus reveal the truth about ourselves. When we enter the field of absolute truth, then our relative experience is going to reflect the perfection of the absolute. That would go into a book if I didn't already have it downstairs. When we enter the field of absolute truth, then our relative experience, whatever it is going to reflect the perfection of the absolute. People often are going to accuse you of being having toxic positivity because you are claiming the perfection of the absolute in the relative realm. And they go, well, the relative realm is hell. It's filled with all kinds of conflict and war and all this other stuff. And you say, yes, but that's just temporary. It's not true. If you want to see the perfection of the absolute, you have to go there. You have to dwell there at least 20 minutes a day. 20 seconds a day would be good. Many of us don't go there ever. We're just talking about what's wrong with the world and blah, 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 and what's going on out there. And of course, you can make money doing that. But you know what? You can create a realm of discovery within yourself of the perfection of the absolute if you dwell there through prayer, through affirmative prayer, and through meditation. I guess I'm not going to read everything that I brought with me. You're going to have to come to the prayer training in December 2nd and 9th. So we all often use this in unity. Therefore, I say to you, whatsoever things you desire when you pray, believe that you have received them, and you shall have them. Believe that they're yours already, basically. This is a little bit of a mistranslation because Jesus was a master of affirmation, of positive affirmation. And what he's talking about here is more of the emotional and spiritual experience that you're after. You're after peace, right? You want love, you want peace, you want connection, you want comfort. These are experiences that are much deeper then I need a home, I need a car, I need money, I need a relationship. I need health of my body. If you want health of your body, then get into your connection with the perfection of the Absolute. Bring that to your body. It's just that simple. The things that you generally want are experiences. And so you think these things are going to bring you the experience, and so you pray for the things. He didn't really mean things. He meant experiences. When you want peace, know that you are peace. When you want love, know that you are love. When you want prosperity, know that you are abundant and prosperous, that you are prosperity, that you are comfort, that you can embody these things. This is what's amazing. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. He didn't say, here's the way. Follow me on this way over here, and I will write the law of the way, and you will follow the law, and you'll be on your way. He didn't say that. He said, I am the way. I am the truth. I am the life. I am the health. I am the peace. I am the love. I am that. Isn't that amazing? Wow. Now, I grew up in a traditional Catholic Christian religion. Nobody ever told me that. I remember the first time I heard that was in a meditation group. And I think it was a wonderful Hindu teacher said, I am that I am. And I am that. What is it that you desire? And this person taught me that in the meditation. It was like, okay, I'm desiring right now peace. And he says, okay, feel that peace. Feel it deeply. What do you desire? Feel it. Experience it right now. It's right here, right now. Experience it. And then once you get into the experience, say, I am that. I am that. What is it that you want? I am that. Oh, I wish I could give that to another person. You can, by being it. We get caught up in the drama, the so-called reality of the world, the drama, and we forget to pray. We forget to affirm the truth, and there, we're not being the truth. He said, believe you've received it, and it will be yours. You'll open your eyes to its reality right here and right now. So rather than the physical things, he's talking about a spiritual experience. Boy, I can't do all this. I got to jump right to the end here. I got too much. Okay. Because he was the master of affirmations. I want to read this to you in closing. This is from Eric Butterworth, Discover the Power Within You. And it's one of my all-time favorite books. And in this book, there's a chapter that says, it's entitled, The Forgotten Art of Prayer. This is all I would like to leave you with. You ask for life by affirming life. You ask for success by getting into the consciousness of success. You ask for peace by affirming peace and letting the spirit of peace permeate your mind and your heart. Prayer is not a way to turn on the light of God, but to turn on the light in you. God is the light. God is the light. It's not someone or something giving you light. It is the light. Turn that light on within you. He goes on to say, Jesus was a master at the use of affirmations. And it may well be that he achieved mastery because of this. Jesus affirmed such truths as, I am the bread of life. I am the light of the world. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Thinking in terms of the divinity of Jesus, we have seen these statements as evidence that he lived under a special dispensation. That was our mistake. We thought he lived under a special dispensation, that he was the way, the truth, and the life because some being out there said, you are the way, the truth, and the life. It's going to be you. Forget all these other guys. We're going to pick you. It's not like that. He did it by affirming the truth. I am the way, the truth, and the life. He was in affirmative prayer, consciously embedding the information in his consciousness, which translated to his manifestation of healing, of raising the dead, of healing the sick, of bringing the blind eyes to see, of walking on water, of feeding the 5,000. All of these things could happen in the realm of his consciousness because he had affirmed who he was. And many others, when they reach this level of consciousness, begin to manifest in the same way. There was a time in my life I walked around and nobody could get near me without being healed. It's just a fact. I prayed one day fervently to become a healer, a spiritual Christian healer. And when I prayed for people, they were healed. Their bodies were healed. They went through transformations that I could not believe. And all that happened was that I was affirming that I was a healer. It started out with, that's what I want to do, more than anything else in the whole world. That's what I wanted to do and be. And it just happened that way, that I learned a way of surrender to the truth. It's not it's just the opposite of what you think. It's not an assertion of personal individual power. That's how you create idols and cults, is the assertion of this personal power that I have. I don't have any powers that you don't have. I don't have any connection that you don't have. I don't have any information that you don't have. Most of it's all right here. It's available in our bookstore. All the information is here. The only thing that I ask you to do is to take it into your consciousness and allow Spirit, affirm the truth of what it is, and allow Spirit to bring it about in manifestation through the realization of who you are. That's it. Just remember who you are. That's all there is. Last thing here. So we've seen him make these statements. He was demonstrating not a special dispensation, but actually he was demonstrating the divinity of man, of all of you, of all of us. He was simply claiming his spiritual unity with the infinite, affirming the truth for and about himself. And we must do the same, to affirm the truth for and about ourselves. That, my friend, is the transforming power of affirmative prayer. Claim the truth. Claim it about yourself. Every single day, affirm the truth, and you'll be living in the truth. And what happens is that you'll be living in an environment of truth, and everyone around you will begin to awaken from their dream as well. You will see the oneness that truly exists. You will experience the oneness that we are and the healing that's available there. Just stay in the affirmation of the truth for yourself. Affirm it every day. Let go of your story and affirm the truth. I love you. Thank you so much.
You have been watching the message from our Sunday celebration service here at Unity on Cape Cod, providing a positive path for spiritual living. Please join us every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. at 147 Walton Ave, Hyannis, Mass., and visit us online at unityoncapecod.org. This video was made possible in part through a grant from Unity Worldwide Ministries and the Templeton Foundation.